Turn back 2 times.
All right, so
Reverse.
last episode. Welcome back, everybody.
Welcome back to Fire Emblem.
Back to rock.
So last episode,
Turn
right?
back the clock.
You
You got to know a little
Proposed-
bit about everybody's imagination with hybrid animals.
yes, and I said you have to do one now. So
I did have one,
what is it?
and I was thinking one of my favorite, like my top 5 animals, I would say is an elephant. Fucking
Yep.
love those suckers.
Up there for me to do.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Pachydermies.
Oh yeah, dude.
And then I was trying to think of what would be great to put with an elephant and assets of an elephant
Mouse?
with the fucking trunk and everything
Yeah.
and the tusks. But I wanted to make it maybe more medium sized. I like the size of elephants, they're fucking dope. But bringing it down to like a not as intrusive kind of,
Talking like rhino size.
maybe a little bit like a lion.
Oh,
So I'm thinking of a
be
fucking
slender like that too,
maybe.
or would it
I'm
still be
thinking of-
shaped like an elephant?
No, I would say he's a good, like a paunchy lion.
Okay.
So a bulgier lion.
So it is an elephant lion hybrid.
It's more elephant,
Yeah.
but it's the size of a lion,
And shaped like a lion.
but a little bit heftier.
Okay.
So it's almost like
So
if you mixed an elephant.
second question.
Yeah.
Does he have like thicker fur like lions, or does he have like elephant fur or elephant hair?
I could say he's got the hair so it looks more like
Or is he patchy?
a mammoth maybe.
You know, he's packed.
Oh, yeah.
More mammoth like.
Can he have a mane?
I don't see why not. We're combining 2 different species here.
Yeah. The dude needs to have a mane.
The dude gets a fucking dope mane and fucking hairy like tusk, like right where the tusks start.
I would like if the ladies still had like some like thicker hair thing right like around the neck region.
Mm-hmm.
Not like a mane that goes all up on the like head and shit, but like a scruff, you know, like a wider thing around the neck, or like a thicker hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
I'm thinking of names now, like
So with the
a Liphant or
Nice.
an Elion.
Elion, dude.
An
would be
Elion
cool.
sounds cool.
Would it have feet like an elephant or feet like a
It would have claws.
lion? It would have claws.
I'm
but
thinking
would they be
of
paws,
the
or would they be the fucking big fucking?
They'd be
stompers
fucking-
that the elephants have,
No, they'd have like claws,
and they'd be shaped like an elephant's paw or like a lion's paw.
like a lion's paw. And
Yeah.
the only things that are really elephant about it is maybe it has a little bit longer ears. It's got big tusks that kind of droop down, and it's got the trunk.
What color is it?
Tannish beige,
So like lion colors.
mixed with a little bit of gray tinge, maybe for the mane, gray
Yeah.
mane.
Gray minge.
The gray minge.
It's not a grey minge.
Spit spot.
It's a grey minge
Clean
upon
up-
the air.
Clean up your minge.
Um.
My understanding. It's all becoming clearer.
And it lives in those kind of arid climates. It's got
Right.
the Serengeti.
Right. My vision, if it was one I was creating, not
Mhm.
yours, they were different, obviously.
Okay.
But it's like if in keeping part of it like up to like the hairs, like colors. We're pretty like if it was the same up till that, I was in my mind thinking of it like as like the fur is like the gray color of the elephant, and the mane fur is like either like charcoal gray or like black.
Okay. So you're thinking monotone kind of, or monochrome,
It just sounds like it'd be intimidating.
like a dark. Yeah, I mean, the trunk would match, like the gray trunk for sure.
Yeah, like gray body with the like I said, the charcoal gray or like
Maybe when
black
they get to a certain age, they
hair.
get that hair.
Oh, dude! After they get a certain age, it starts getting more gray.
Mm-hmm.
Like, and they get like wisps and shit. So
Mhm.
like that could be cool.
Mm-hmm. Their mane gets kind of droopy, so it looks like long hair.
Man,
Looks like they got beautiful, like, maybe she's born with it.
I'm like, slowly throughout this
Maybe it's Serengeti.
recording, like since we've started doing this, I've just kind of like, because I always had an idea of a story of what like Fargonauts would be, and then like
I'm listening.
within it, I had like, I just keep like adding things to remember to it.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm being like, having a creature in there that looks like that would be pretty fucking tight, or we could have all of them in it. It's the thing. Like I always have the ideas, but I never.
Ideas are still good.
I can't act like when it comes to doing this. Like,
It's
actually
still
doing
a
it, I'm like,
creative
nah.
exercise. You're not
It
like
is.
you're
It
not
is.
like just because you're not doing it.
Well, I just
Physically,
thought of it
you're
as the basic
thinking it.
the basic setup of it is like we are like on like a spaceship,
Mhm.
right? Like keeping with the space
Mhm.
stuff.
Our
Like,
atomic-
that could even be like a
The atomic age.
if we were discovered something and landed on it and walked over and like thought there was like a friendly or like somebody was over there and we turned them around and it's the helmet with the skull in it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Which I know has been done a lot, but still that'd be cool. But it's just like, yeah, so the ship is like, the spaceship is like the USS Fargo or whatever the fuck, you know?
Mhm.
And therefore, us being of that, like taking it back to where it comes from, where Argonauts comes from,
Mhm.
they were the crew of the Argo.
Argo. Mhm.
So the Fargonauts are the crew of the Fargo.
Mm-hmm.
And we're like we had, the humans hadn't been like on Earth for a long time. We come back and then to where all like the rubble of the planet is kind of, and or like the, maybe not rubble, maybe it's still a planet, but it's just fucked. Like there's not anybody there, or maybe it's one of those you don't think there's anybody there situation.
Everybody lives in like in the core.
If you
almost.
get deeper into it, maybe. But they but yeah, so they have different teams, whatever, exploring. And one of them finds like a cache of like media, you know, like movies, TV,
Yep.
video games, comics, like all that type of stuff.
Yeah, I like the lore.
And then they bring it back to the ship, and our analogies in it are the team of dudes that they task with like cataloging it all
Mm-hmm.
and reviewing it and shit, like
it.
looking at it, watching it, whatever.
I like
So
it.
that's what this is. It's
Right.
like us, like on age old, like
I'm with you.
old, thousands of years ago stuff that we're
Mhm.
just like, oh, so this is this.
Yep.
You know what I mean? And we could even have people who have either guessed it or used to be part of it as characters,
Mm-hmm.
and they go for whatever reasons, or there's some other relationships. But I was also thinking of like incorporating other things from the series, like fucking Osari guy. Like he'd pop in every once in a while. Like that would be a running gag where he'd like, we'd be
Osari.
like talking serious about something, and the door opens and he walks in and he's just like, oh sorry.
Sorry.
And then like we're somehow working the "Are you guys podcasters" thing in there,
Mm-hmm.
but not necessarily like podcasters. And then like our Chroma Squad team, I wish we would have been able to do more of it, but that got all fucky. I wanted to make it some like Spec Ops team of the fucking ship,
Mm-hmm.
you know, stuff like that.
I like it.
And then you
I'm
could
with
have
you.
all our hybrid animals in there too.
Mm-hmm.
It's various stuff. But yeah, that was my idea. It's kind of.
I like
it's
how
got
you
a-
exercise like stuff that we just do normally,
Yeah.
and like you bounce what we do in a session.
It's got a kind of, obviously there's a little bit of like Mystery Science Theater in there.
Yep, because that's
Just
the
'cause the-
spaceship, and they make
Being
him.
in space and then us watching things and talking about them. But
Mhm.
I mean, that's already a thing. But outside of the space stuff plus that obviously shows the influence there. But it's not so similar. You know what I mean?
I know, and yeah, the Argonauts
Yeah.
are the ship Argo,
Yeah.
and
Not
not means basically like sailing, right?
Maybe, I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's the
I thought it just meant like crew member of the Argo.
like nautical.
Yeah, well, yeah, the root. Let's see.
Cosmonaut basically means
Not.
like sailor of the cosmos. Astronaut means sailor of the stars.
Right. So
Fargonauts are just sailors of Fargo.
Of the Fargo, yeah.
I see you hiding that bush.
But yeah, so like it's just building as lore in my head as it goes along.
I'm liking the lore so far. That's kind of what I envision too. Yeah, for like the logo, yeah, I wanted like a cosmonaut but with a skull. I didn't want just like a cosmonaut with like the visor down or whatever.
Right.
Which would have been cool, but I like the imagery of the skull cosmonaut.
Right.
And the red and white. And I loved how Fargo, the word makes you think of like how far you can go, and then the knot makes you think of, yeah, astronaut, cosmonaut, how far you can go.
Right.
Practice yield. I'm on it.
I'm on it. Die. Oof. One damage.
I'll give it my all.
Groucho, if you were invisible for 2 hours, what would you do?
Invisible for 2 hours?
Yep, no more.
Well,
Not even like,
I mean, like,
not even once a day, but just like once. 2 hours.
I'd definitely walk around naked for a little bit.
For how
In
long?
public,
For
just
how
like-
long?
I don't know. I wouldn't take up the whole time with it because, like, what if it wears off and I'm naked still? Like,
What should I do?
it'd only be for a little bit.
Right,
Just
it's
so I
for
could
2
like,
hours.
have the experience of walking around in public naked without people notice, like, without people, like, reacting and seeing.
Would you do anything while you're naked?
I wouldn't do anything like Turbo Sketch.
Okay, you wouldn't like rub up against anybody?
No.
Good.
That ain't me, bro. I
You
ain't
wouldn't-
like that.
What if you had to like squeeze through into an elevator or something?
I just wait, dude.
Okay, you wouldn't like just take the stairs.
Well, I could take the stairs, yeah, I suppose.
That wastes time.
But it takes more time
Yeah.
taking the stairs than it does waiting for that elevator. Maybe.
What's something big you would do, but not just like
Something
walk around?
big?
Let's say like clothing is not an issue. Like you can,
Yeah.
your clothes can turn invisible too.
Something big.
You never had a chance.
I would, I don't know, I'd probably do some, like, stereotypical nerdy shit. Like a, oh, look at the government secret files. Like, you know, like shit like that.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, would you go to
Yeah.
like Area 51?
I don't know, Area 51, but I'd go to a place where I could definitely get that information from.
CIA.
Yeah.
That's interesting. I think I'd probably do the
I'd
same.
take a poop on the chair in the Oval Office.
That's what I was thinking. Like for 2 hours, yeah, I would wait till I can like,
This is any president.
if I can
too,
trigger this
any president.
whenever I
Yeah,
wanted,
fuck.
and that it doesn't just happen. I would like wait to go on like a tour of the White House and just
Yeah.
like, all right, trigger it, and just have 2 hours of fun in the White House, just
Yeah.
doing random shit.
Go to like the real places, you know, not
Yep.
the like shit everybody can go to.
Yep, the bowling alley, like Nixon's
Yep.
bowling alley, and
Take a poop on the fucking bowling lane.
yep,
It's a lot of taking poop places. Just 'cause I think it'd be funny. Two, because like you're invisible, but that doesn't necessarily mean your shit's invisible,
exactly.
right? So like you could be like standing like you're in the lane at the bowling alley, and you could be standing with your fucking,
Somebody just sees.
with your legs open like over the lane, and then like someone could be bowling, and then all of a sudden you just like a turd starts appearing out of
You
nowhere.
hear like a
Yeah, and then like either they see it as they're rolling and like throws them
out
off,
of thin air, it's just something.
or they throw it and then it happens and then like the ball rolls over and shit.
But could they hear
Poop jokes
you?
are easy, dude.
Could they hear you?
Could they hear you pooping?
No, like if you're, I couldn't like hold back laughter at that moment. If somebody rolls a bowling ball over my shit in a bowling
Yeah.
lane, I'd be like, oh
Doesn't
god.
matter. They still won't know.
That's true, but I think that would scar them for life.
That's okay. Dude, you
That's
can
okay, I
contribute
guess.
to like fucking someone's life up forever, and they would never know
Just because you pooped in a bowling.
just because he pooped in a bowling alley, and then laughed afterwards. I mean, that's not cool, obviously, but like the fact.
But it
that,
has to be at the White
But the
House.
fact that you could do it
Yeah,
is pretty tight.
I think
It
we
has
leave
to
it
be at the White House to poop. Like, it's not just any bowling alley.
No, you have to do just like at somewhere special.
Dude,
It can't just be like going to the bowler because I'm sure people do that anyway there.
I think you should poop in the ball churner thing
Yeah.
back there, whatever that's called.
Instead of like, yeah,
The
saving.
thing that picks the balls up
Picks
and
the
throws
balls
it
up.
back.
Ball
Mhm.
return.
Well, yeah, but not like the mouth of it.
The
But the whole
entirety of that
system, yeah,
mechanism
yeah,
is
yeah.
called the ball
Yeah,
return.
yeah. So I'd poop in that. So, so then the ball just keeps balls just keep churning around
Shit
through it, dude.
balls.
Shit balls, dude.
I know what this episode's
Today's
called.
specialty. Shit balls.
We'll be back with more possibly in the future.
How would you like all those poop jokes, everybody?